Should we still be funding UNRWA, the United Nations agency which was established 76 years ago to support Palestinian refugees? To give you an idea of how useless UNRWA is, it has not only failed to settle its original 700,000 Palestinian refugees, it has actually multiplied their number and radicalized them to continue fighting in the conflict they are fleeing from. There are many complex factors at play here, but one of the main reasons that President Trump dropped US support for UNRWA was simple. The humanitarian aid agency has played an active role in facilitating terrorist attacks against Israelis, including UNRWA workers participating in the kidnapping of Israelis. How did an aid organization get into a situation where terrorists are regularly using them as a front for killing Israelis? You might well ask. UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, was formed 76 years ago in December 1949 to provide essential services like education, healthcare, and social assistance to improve living conditions for Palestinian refugees living in Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, the West Bank, and Gaza. These were refugees from the Arab-Israeli War, which began when a coalition of Arab forces attacked Israel the day after the country's establishment. From that war, the United Nations estimates that more than 700,000 Palestinians fled or were forced out of their homes, while 850,000 Jews were expelled from Arab countries, many settling in Israel. Although most refugee agencies aim to help people to find new homes in other countries, UNRWA's position on Palestinian refugees is unique. They insist that they and their 5.6 million descendants cannot be settled anywhere else except for back in Israel. UNRWA's 58 official refugee camps and over 700 schools are used to radicalize this refugee population into the belief that Israel should not exist. Its textbooks are filled with anti-Semitic and anti-Israel narratives and lesson plans. But it's not just the curriculum. UNRWA's schools and facilities have also been used as missile launching sites against Israel, fighting positions for Hamas terrorists, and even part of the infrastructure where Israeli hostages are being held. And US taxpayer dollars have been supporting its annual $1 billion budget. What finally has caused the US and many European allies to wake up to this terrible abuse of their aid budget? On October the 7th, 2023, Hamas launched a bloody attack on Israel. The terrorist army murdered more than 1,200 Israelis and took 251 hostages to Gaza, including American citizens. In the aftermath of the attacks, Israel has identified at least 108 UNRWA employees who are Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists. Israel have also handed over incontrovertible evidence linking some UNRWA employees to direct involvement in the murdering, kidnapping, and attacking of Israelis. Perhaps most troubling, an intelligence dossier links roughly 1,200 UNRWA staffers to militants. The United Nations has publicly conceded that some of these allegations are true, but has refused to fire many of the accused. Over the course of the war, Israel has uncovered more than 30 UNRWA facilities in Gaza that contain terrorist infrastructure such as tunnel shafts that lead to Hamas underground bases. Hamas has used UNRWA schools as military bases and as weapons depots. RPGs, guns and missiles have been found in UNRWA mosques, medical facilities, and even humanitarian aid warehouses. 28-year-old Emily Damari was held hostage in an UNRWA hospital. 19-year-old Noah Marciano was killed in an UNRWA hospital. 84-year-old Dietze Herman was held by an UNRWA teacher, and so on. And it's not just in Gaza. Fateh Sherif Abu El Amin, a school principal who headed the UNRWA Teachers Association in Lebanon, was also the head of Hamas's Lebanon branch. Let me repeat. The head of UNRWA Teachers Association in Lebanon was also the head of Hamas's Lebanon branch. Among a mountain of evidence, the Israeli government has had no choice but to designate UNRWA as a terrorist organization. Other countries have also started to reconsider their contributions. In 2024, several donor countries temporarily suspended their funding, including the United States and Germany. Switzerland cut its funding by half and acknowledged that the organization backs terrorism and anti-Semitism. These interruptions to funding are having an impact on UNRWA, whose budget comes almost entirely from contributions by UN member states. As Israel's war with Hamas continues to be waged, the question must be asked, is supporting UNRWA still in your nation's best interest?